The demographic transition theory relates to the process of industrialization to declining death rates, followed by declining birth rates. It is important to note that as countries develop, they move through the stages of the demographic transition model. The demographic transition model measures these statistics and categorizes them into 5 stages of development, while looking at their impact on total population.
Stage 1. High fluctuating. Countries placed in the Stage 1 category generally have high fluctuating birth and death rates. This means that the population growth remains stable. 3 examples of country at Stage 1 of the demographic transition model are Chad, Niger, and Ethiopia. Chad has a population growth rate of 1.95%, a birth rate of 37.99 births per 1,000, a death rate of 14.85 deaths per 1,000. Niger has a population growth rate of 3.32%. The birth rate is 46.84 births per 1,000, and the death rate is 13.07 per 1,000. Ethiopia has a population growth rate of 2.9%. The birth rate is 38.07 births per 1,000, and a death rate of 8.87 deaths per 1,000. Reasons for these countries remaining in Stage 1 include children being needed for agriculture, no family planning, low levels of sanitation leading to disease and starvation and famine, lack of contraception for birth control, literacy rates are poor leading to women and men being uneducated, high infant mortality rate leading to families having more children to replace the ones that have died. There is next to no health care in these areas, so the death rate is high and life expectancy is very low.
Stage 2. Early expanding. Birth rates remain high, but death rates fall rapidly. The result is a rapidly growing population. Examples of country in this stage include Afghanistan. Population growth rate 2.25%, birth rate 39.05 deaths per 1,000 population, death rate 14.35 deaths per 1,000 population. Papua New Guinea, population growth rate 1.89%, birth rate 25.4 births per 1,000 population, death rate 6.54 deaths per 1,000 population. India, population growth rate 1.28%, birth rate 20.24 births per 1,000 population, and death rate 7.39 deaths per 1,000 population. In all of the countries, death rates have fallen, suggesting that healthcare, sanitation, and diet has improved. This also increases life expectancy and decreases the risk of disease and starvation.
Stage 3. Late expanding. Birth rates are now falling rapidly, with death rates continuing to decrease but at a slower rate. The net result is a slowly increasing population. Examples of countries with these stages are Brazil, population growth rate 0.83%. The birth rate is 14.97 births per 1,000 and the death rate is 6.51 deaths per 1,000. Mexico, population growth rate 1.07%. Birth rate 18.61 births per 1,000 and death rate is 4.94 deaths per 1,000. Indonesia, population growth rate 0.99%. Birth rate 17.38 births per 1,000 and the death rate is 6.31 deaths per 1,000. Reasons for being in Stage 3 include already a low death rate, declining birth rate, therefore leading to a slight increase in population, no family planning, better education, lower infant mortality rate, more industrialized way of life, the want for more material possessions, women being able to go out to work, and increased use of birth control and family planning edging towards the fact that birth rate has decreased, improvement in education and literacy rates as women especially understand the importance in not having as many children to gain a better standard of living.
Stage 4. Low fluctuating. Birth rates and death rates remain low, fluctuating slightly to give a steady population. Australia, population growth rate 1.11%, birth rate 12.23 births per 1,000 population, death rate 7.01 deaths per 1,000 population. South Korea, population growth rate 0.81%. Korea, population growth rate 0.18%, birth rate 8.33 per 1,000 population, and death rate 6.5 of 1,000 population. China, population growth rate 0.46%, birth rate 12.25 births per 1,000 of population, and death rate 7.31 of 1,000 population. Reasons for being in stage 4 include later marriages, women reaching menopause before they have children, improved health and good with family planning. People are living longer more in average years, and they also have good medical facilities as opposed to other countries that aren't as developed. Death rate remains low as healthcare is at an optimum level. Normally low birth rates are associated with high standards of living. However, China is the exception because they have implemented the one-child policy as a strict population control measure. There is less desire to have large families as money would be spent upon luxuries in life such as holidays and cars. Conversely, rather than selfishly, children are rather expensive to raise. Therefore, birth rates remain low.
Stage 5. Replacement. Each couple essentially replaces themselves in the number of people in a population by having 2 children per couple. The worldwide average is usually just above 2 children per couple because some children die before they reach their reproductive years. The death rate is greater than the birth rate. The total population will decrease for the first time in a country. Countries within this stage include Japan, population growth rate negative 0.1%. The birth rate is 8.23 births per 1,000 and the death rate is 9.27 deaths per 1,000. Belgium, population growth rate 0.05%. The birth rate is 10 births per 1,000 population and the death rate is 10.7 deaths per 1,000 population. Finland, population growth rate 0.06%. Birth rate 10.36 births per 1,000 population. The death rate 10.42 deaths per 1,000 population. Reasons for being in stage 5 include children are that expensive that the amount of couples not having any is on the rise. Number of elderly people increases, so many reproductive adults have to care for elderly relatives and simply don't have enough time to raise a family. Therefore, birth rate decreases.